Hey everybody, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Weekly Spark, Color Stories, whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to pop on before I get started because I'm switching up the schedule a little bit this month. Normally I do the giveaway standalone collage as kind of the second entry for each color story, but I've been out of town for about a week and I'm slowly getting back into my art journal practice. I did travel journal, but it's not quite the same. Getting back to filming, keeping up my schedule. So I wanted to do a page this week with the green theme that is a topic very near and dear to my heart. The giveaway spread, uh, the giveaway collage will happen next week. So stay tuned because I would love to have you enter that. As always, domestic shipping, all the rules will be posted when that post goes up. But for this week, I've got a fresh cup of coffee. I have a lot of green art supplies pulled, and the topic is The Wizard of Oz. So like I said, getting back to it, but I'd printed out these reference images before I went away, thinking that I wanted to do a spread on that. I mean, what is more iconically green than The Wicked Witch of the West? This Margaret Hamilton picture is amazing, and I think I'm actually going to trace this, make it a bit more kind of generalized, kind of graphic, but this black and green, and maybe we'll go lavender in the background, just to kind of make a design out of this. So tracing that. This is the original illustration from, oh good grief, I've blanked out his name. I'll put it in the screen text, but this is the original Wicked Witch of the West and how she looked in the original book illustrations before she was even green, because she turned green when the movie was made. Heather Greene has written amazing things about witches in pop culture and history. Stay tuned. There might be more things coming on witches as the year unfolds. I want to do something with drawing this in. And I had pictures of my two favorite Wicked Witches from Wicked on Broadway. I don't think they're going to fit on the page. I think that, this with a yellow brick road, maybe some poppies. I can transfer her here, right? So she'd be facing into the page. And I'm going to try and limit it to just this one side. I want to keep the other side for another green page and be able to contain things in my Color Stories book, right? I've got the green art history spread. I'll link this at the end of the video. So then I'll have Oz, and then I'll have another green page. I'm thinking of doing something with gardens on Paradise, both Islamic gardens and the Garden of Eden kind of thing. So that'll be very green and plant-based. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, don't you know what? The dog started barking and I didn't hit record. Let me catch you up on what I've done. I apologize for that. First off, I have 4 different washi tapes that I got at the Wicked store at Universal Studios in Orlando. And so they are inspired by the recent films, but they are some wonderful kind of Emerald City patterns. And so I have lined the edges of my page. Now they're not sticking terribly well, so I might have to hit them with a glue stick. All right, fair enough. That seems wrong for washi tape to not be sticky enough, but especially here on the bend, it's going to fold and unfold a lot. So then I have some homemade tracing paper, which is just soft lead pencil, and I positioned all this to trace my Margaret Hamilton image. I'm going to keep it in 3 tones. I'm going to go like graphite, dark gray. I'm going to go solid black. I'm going to go green. Oh, 4 tones, because I'll do something in the background. So you can see here that I have traced my lines, kept it really simple. I'm just kind of doing a bit of a margin here. Because then I can go in with an even broader marker and just, oh, maybe not. I want it to be a nice solid black. So I want this marker to be juicy enough. I could use a brush and India ink. Which I may do because that's giving me more pattern than I want. Or I'll just ASMR this marker. I have this really cool stuff. It was a tiny souvenir from an amazing art supply store in London. Corneliensen and Sons. Again, I can't remember the exact name. I'll put that below. But I'd gone to Wales on a family trip, so this is 2019, and I desperately wanted to go get something from this famous art supply store in London that, you know, the Impressionists went to. So this little bit of watercolor graphite was new to me and a really lovely souvenir. I have mentioned, especially recently, that I'm trying to do a low spend year. I don't think it's going to be possible for me to do a no spend year. I already had to restock some glazes and I bought some beads. You may have seen that on some shorts recently. So I am trying to be very mindful about my spending and spend less. So there. I'm not, you know, going to the local craft store just to see what's new and pick up a fun basket or organizer or something like that for the studio. That's really fun, but not necessary. So this is not as dark as the original image that I'm working from, but I thought it would be fun to use this graphite. And I may go over it again and darken it up with some Daniel Smith watercolors. I have a black tourmaline that is a little bit sparkly that I think would go well with the graphite. Yeah, I probably will go over that again since it's a little uneven and definitely not as dark as the original inspiration text. Let's put some of this in our hair for sure. That's good. That's kind of perfect. All right, I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to start drawing in the Emerald City. Now that I am definitely recording, I'm probably going to put on something to listen to, and then future Jenny will talk you through things as they are happening. Well, apparently I've done it again. Now you see why I wanted to do a page that was simpler so that I could get my groove back, because I've made some silly mistakes in the filming of this. I thought about starting over, but I really like how the page is going. So if you will just humor me and bear with me, then I will try and get things right from here on out. So fix my washi tape. I drew in my very simplified castle, and I went ahead and inked it. I used these midliner, these markers. These are by Zebra, and I just used that as my background sky. We know this paper in this book doesn't take wet mediums very well. So this green area, a little bit of this blue fade, and then the gold, they were done very simply with some King Art water-soluble crayons. And that looked like literally scribbling down a few lines. And just kind of going over that to smooth out the lines, but also to spread the color to cover more area with water on my brush. So the gold I've let fade down into this area because I might do some poppies over top of that. But I thought this material, when it dries, would also be not such a heavy coating on the page that I won't be able to transfer the original Wicked Witch right onto that. Maybe I'll put a little gesso there so that she has a different background that's not totally green. That is yet to be determined. But like I said, I am so sorry that there have been so many technical issues. Yeah, well, technical issues. That's what we're calling user error today, since it was my user error that caused these problems. I thought I would do this in watercolor, but I like this green. It's pretty close. Yeah, happy with that. That gives me a lot more of the darkness of the shadow that I wanted. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, if the dog will stop barking and let me finish this, I think we're good. It is very, very clearly an homage to Oz and the Emerald City, the Wicked Witch of the West. If you haven't seen Wicked, I encourage you to see it. Better yet, read the original book. And this page, with its problems, still satisfies. I had to add a little stenciling here just because that background was a bit plain, weak, not crowded enough, didn't have enough interest. But I'm happy with my Oz page. So please forgive me for the technical difficulties that were throughout this spread this week. And I hope you will tune in next week for the giveaway post. I do have my pieces ready to go, 5x8. And then again, at the end of the month, we'll have another green spread over here inspired by kind of paradise gardens, green growing things. So thank you for staying all the way to the end. I appreciate all of your viewing and comments and thumbs up on the video. Please subscribe. Guarantee things will be smoother next week, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back in my art journal, and thank you for tuning in. So, like always, like and subscribe, and leave me a comment below what you thought about the page. What are your thoughts on The Wizard of Oz or on Wicked? And I look forward to seeing you next week for another Color Stories Weekly Spark.